This is Quiet Place Day One, even though we saw that in the second one, and it came out June 28th of this year on a $67 million budget. It has so far made $260.8 million, good enough for tenth highest grossing movie of the year so far. So, I mean, this is a franchise that still has a little bit of legs. It was originally going to be written and directed by Jeff Nichols, but he had some creative diffs with the studio and with John Krasinski, and so he left to do The Bike Riders.
Right.
And
who's Mike Nichols? What's the difference between those two guys?
Well, Mike Nichols is, of course, the classic filmmaker behind The Graduate.
Oh, I guess that would be the difference. Okay.
The difference is that, one of them is decades older than the other one.
Oh, right. That's a good point.
Yeah. What's the difference?
I didn't know.
What's the difference between Mike Nichols?
I didn't know which one was which.
What's the difference between Sean Levy and Eugene Levy?
Sometimes I wonder.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Nichols left. He made his biker movie, and he was replaced by Michael Sarnoski, who wrote and directed Pig with Nicolas Cage.
And
what, another thing?
Well, Alex Wolff is in that movie, and he brought him over to this. I thought that was cool.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I did notice.
He likes him.
Who doesn't? Love Moley guy.
And he had a big beard in this one.
Did he? Oh yeah, I guess he did.
He's totally different. I've never seen him like this before.
I don't know. I can't get past the mole. Once I see that mole, I know who I'm looking at.
I feel like you couldn't even see it with the big beard.
I could see it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now Pig was pretty great, I thought.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah. And
was it the COVID year? Like nothing was coming out that year. I feel like that was like one of the best movies of that year because nothing came out.
I think it might have been 2021 where shit like started.
Yeah,
coming
Coda.
back. Yeah. Coda. That's what you think of?
The one Best Picture. Of course, that's what I think of.
Right. Child of Deaf Adult.
That's right.
Was that right?
Yeah, you're right.
I nailed that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, so Sarnoski's trying to bring a little bit of that pig juice to.
Oh, what? Let's take that again.
To A Quiet Place. Listen, I'm having a problem. I talked about it on Hey, I'm Watching Here, where I don't like any movies anymore, and I sometimes feel that it's not the movie's fault. Like I think. Well, so I watched A Quiet Place Day One, guys, on Ross Flix, our good friend streaming service.
Same,
and I pretty much hated it. All right, but then I went on Letterboxd afterwards, and a lot of you listeners had some stuff to say about the movie, and a lot of you wrote like pretty positive reviews, and everything I was reading that the listeners were writing were like correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like I totally got all the good stuff you were saying, and I was like, why didn't I like it? And I started getting mad at myself. This is like when I hit my breaking point with this thing where I don't like movies anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was pissed off at myself because I feel like this is a movie that maybe has something, but I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, I felt somewhere in the middle between you and maybe the listeners. I didn't super love this movie, but I understood what it was. Maybe not understood, but I like got on board with what it had to say and everything. And I had a cute little cat. But I had some questions about the cat. Like
the cat was really cute.
But cats meow constantly. Like I
know.
Feel like listeners of this podcast,
cat is so fucking loud.
Yeah, if you listen to this podcast, which the people listening do, I assume, they can probably hear my cat all the time meowing in the background. It's crazy. This cat doesn't meow one time.
No, it's ridiculous. It's just like the baby in the second one. Like they keep adding elements to this movie that make like this franchise that makes it impossible to like suspend my disbelief.
True. It's so easy to not have a baby or a cat. Why do they
Yeah,
feel?
just don't have a baby or an animal in a movie.
Yeah, I think they do it to like add like suspense or something. But to me, it just adds like stupidity. I don't know what
No,
to do.
it's just like in the last movie, you spend the whole time thinking like that is the most well behaved baby in the entire universe, and this whole movie you're watching it going like I would pay lots of money for that cat. This cat seems delightful.
Yeah, honestly, but that's not. This isn't only about cats. It's about.
I mean, they fucking jumped in the water at the end. Like the cat was underwater in like the fucking East River or something, and he comes out of the water just fine, just chill.
Yeah, and they really got that cat wet. That's a great actor cat. For it to not freak out like that. That's
Yeah.
the chillest cat ever.
Well, they used two cats. I noticed.
Oh, really? How do you
Yeah.
know that?
Well, they were credited in the credits.
Oh, in the credits. Okay.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Let me tell you my big problem with the movie, and this is a problem I have with movies in general right now. Movies that are coming out currently. Okay. I feel that protagonists in movies are not allowed to be flawed anymore.
She had cancer. That's a flaw.
That's not a flaw. In movie history and in the history of art in general, protagonists of films would have character flaws that needed to be overcome. Okay?
Right. Teen Wolf, he's a teen, but he also turns into a wolf. You got to overcome that.
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like, maybe they have an ego or something, or they're a womanizer, or I mean, some of these things have been done to death. I'm just giving examples, but in movies now, because people are going to complain about things on social media, I feel like they make all the characters just amazing human beings.
Right.
With
Well, that's
no
people's.
flaws.
I agree with you, and that's people's complaint with reality TV too. Is you can't have any villains anymore. Everybody
Yes.
has to be the hero of Survivor or whatever. And I agree. I'm on your side.
But like, it's everyone in this movie. The main character is Lupita Nyong'o, and she has cancer, but it's the kind of cancer where she's not really suffering that much, and she can still move around okay.
She is dying though.
But like,
She's going to
there are
die
no
soon.
symptoms.
She looks in pain.
Like once or twice, and then it's like she puts a fentanyl patch on and everything's fine. By the way, did not know fentanyl patches existed until this movie. Get me a fucking lifetime supply.
Oh, come on, you're gonna die.
Holy shit. Anyway, fucking she's just like this amazing person with like the greatest cat owner of all time.
Should we have seen her kick the cat once or twice? Like, oh shit!
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh my god!
Like, can she do anything wrong? And then it's like she's got Alex Wolff, who's like her nurse at the cancer ward or whatever, and he's like amazing.
Well, one flaw with her, I don't think she was as nice to him as she should have been. She thought maybe like she was like, "Oh, you're just my nurse. We're not really friends."
Well,
I feel like she should have been nicer to him.
She writes that, but everything like that you can chalk up to have her having cancer. Like she writes that like mean poem at the beginning.
Yeah.
But like ultimately the point is she's like a cancer survivor who writes great poetry. Like who loved her dad and fucking grew up in Harlem, and then you got like Alex Wolff, this amazing nurse. She comes across Eddie from Stranger Things,
Yeah.
and he's just like flawless. Like he meets her, he gets her immediately. They never have a conflict between one another the entire movie. He instead
he loves
of just
her cat.
he loves her cat. Instead of getting on the boat and leaving the city, which is what everybody's doing, including Digimon Hansu, he goes uptown with her to find pizza. He ultimately
They do magic. That's a flaw. You hate magic.
I hate magic, but it's not treated as a flaw in this movie. We're supposed to be impressed by the magic.
Right, as I was. He has great big eyes.
Like Amy Adams.
Just like Amy Adams. You know who he is, right? He's going to be our future. We just talked about our past Torch. He's going to be future.
Oh,
Johnny
he's
Storm.
Human Torch?
That's right. In the new,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the new Vanessa Kirby Fantastic Four movie.
It's Vanessa Kirby, Pascal. Who's the Thing?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I feel like I should have that info.
Is it Paul Mescal?
No way.
Did I make that up?
You made that up. I feel like he was in the talks.
In the talks?
Talks to be in the role.
Oh, was it?
But I don't think it worked out.
Okay.
Or maybe it did. How do I look that up on IMDb?
I'm looking it up right now, gang. They got it's the dude Eben Moss Bacharach. He's playing
from The Bear.
He's in The Bear, and he was a
Jennifer
Girls.
Lawrence, that movie. Oh yeah, he was in Girls, you're right.
He ate Allison Williams' asshole.
Yeah, I know about that.
Remember that scene?
I always see that clip where she's singing at the party. That's a hilarious clip.
Oh my god, that is so embarrassing.
She's so good.
She is great. All right. What are we talking about? Oh, right. So it's just everyone is goddamn a delight. The whole movie.
You're right.
And I'm just not interested. I think what I like about movies is character over everything else. Like I'm not like I need a good plot. Like show me a plot. Like I could get into like a murder mystery or something. But like but like I don't care that much about action. Like as beautiful as a movie can look, I'm gonna need some characters. All right, characters not necessarily that I can relate to or that I
just that are compelling,
just that are compelling. And I think that's my problem with movies coming out right now is every character is so fucking perfect that none of them compel me on any level.
I think you're less supposed to be into the character flaw and more into their mission. You want them to get the pizza.
Right. But I didn't care about if she got pizza.
Oh, yes, you did. Come on.
No, I didn't.
You want her to get pizza.
But I was never convinced the pizza would be there or still be good.
It looked gross, I have to admit.
The second the alien invasion happens, right? Like everything shuts down. Of course, newspapers are still able to produce a couple of days
as we learned
newspapers that say it's sound, but pretty much everything shuts down. They're not serving pizza in the days following the alien apocalypse. All right, so like, I mean, whenever they get to, even if they find like a slice of pizza, it's gonna be sitting there for days.
But it's, the Zombieland thing. It's the little things.
And there's no electricity. It's not going to be sitting under a heat lamp.
It's the little things. In that movie, he just wanted the Twinkies, It doesn't matter how he ate. He ate around the bullets. He shot a Twinkie
the thing
and then
about
ate
Twinkies,
around the bullet.
The reason that's clever is that Twinkies
never go bad.
They never go bad.
Yeah, that's a
pizza
joke
goes bad instantly. I mean, have you dude, if you leave a pizza out on the counter for 3 days.
Okay, 3 days for sure, but not instantly. Like you can leave it out for
But that's
4
how
hours.
long it's taking. They are walking up during an alien apocalypse. They start in Chinatown, Logan, and they walk up to Harlem to get pizza. Okay, that is over 100 New York City blocks.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing. Taking them forever to get there.
I think that's why the pizza looked gross at the end, but it was still worth it. Like it didn't matter how gross it was. They got it. I
don't know, man. Like to me, no matter, even if they got pizza, like there was such a ceiling on how good that pizza could be that I didn't care whether they got it or not.
I agree, but I did care. So that's where we differ. But were you sad to see Alex Wolff die? I knew that was coming because I knew that the other guy was like the main lead and not Alex Wolff. So I was like, well, he's gonna bite it soon, and he did.
Yeah, that occurred to me too. But yeah, I guess I was a little sad. But how sad? Like ultimately, you're sad because it's like, oh, that great guy died. But everyone's a great guy in movies now, so who cares?
Yeah, you just gotta get over it, maybe.
I don't know, man. I Jimon Hansu, by the way, Digimon Hansu. I realized halfway through the movie that he was in the last one.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
I feel like he's only in this movie to get a pop out of the crowd. Like, oh, that's the connection.
Well, I didn't pop at first. I was like, it wasn't until like I saw him later on that I was like, oh wait, he's gonna survive because he's in the second one.
But I think this brings up a question: Does what's his name? Joseph Quinn, the actor. Does his what are their characters' names? Does it even matter? Does he die between movies, or does he just like leave that group? Because we meet Digimon's group, and Joseph Quinn's nowhere to be found.
No, Joseph Quinn sacrifices himself. Does he not?
What? No, he gets on the boat at the end.
Sorry, Lupita sacrifices herself. He jumps on the boat. I mean, I guess it's plausible that he's in that community somewhere.
You just don't see him.
Yeah,
it's all right. And I did not like the end of this movie. I have to be honest. I liked her little sacrifice, whatever, running through, hitting the cars and whatever. But I think she should have killed herself as he's swimming away. That would be what I do. Like your last moment, you completed your mission. Your friend is on his way to live his life. Now you can kill yourself at like peak happiness. I don't know why she lives a few days and then walks out into the street and plays a song.
Well, it's for that shot, right? Because he thought of a good last shot for the movie.
Yeah.
But I do think it was a good last shot for the movie, so I'm gonna let him have this one.
I was looking at her stand there watching her friend. I was like, kill yourself. This is the perfect moment. And it didn't happen. And I was like, well, there must be a reason why she doesn't. And then it seemed like just a few days later, she walks into the street and kills herself. I think it was enough
for me. I think it was enough for me that she was okay. She was comfortable if she died in that moment. You know, yeah. but she managed to survive it. And then she was like, well, I'm going to die anyway. And then she sacrificed herself with that song.
What was the song? Did you notice?
It was Feeling Good, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm feeling good.
Yeah. It should have been the one. What was the one from the last movie?
I don't remember.
Somewhere beyond the sea. You know that?
Because fuck that.
Because on the radio,
this is a better song than that shit.
And the whole thing in that movie was it was like a code, right? Like somewhere beyond the sea, they knew it was like,
oh my god,
that's hilarious. That's so funny. I remember I gave that movie a 4. I was probably wrong about that. I remember I was
gave that movie a 4. You
both
gave
of
a Quiet Place Part 2 a 4.
I was so high that week on both of those movies. I was like this. I was like this form of movie making is cool. No sound. I was so into it. I don't know what was going on, but I don't know. I like seeing one of the aliens drown. That was pretty cool. In the water, they like go through the water and it drowns.
Did we get to see that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know what I like? You know what the best part of this movie was for me? What? Those overhead shots of the aliens climbing over like skyscrapers and shit.
Yeah, I agree. That was cool. Like
that was baller.
Like the bigger shots of them like are on the buildings and stuff in the background.
Yeah, the wide shots. There's not too much of that going on. I guess because it's a pretty low budget movie, $67 million. But whatever they got out of that looked really cool to me. The special effects, the alien, the creature design is good for these movies.
Absolutely. There was one part where like the cat's in danger for 5 minutes, and I wasn't into the way that the movie looked. I was like,
oh, where like the cat's like climbing above the thing.
Yeah, I mean, like there was just like fire everywhere.
It was suddenly. Like a nest. They found like a nest, right? They were breeding baby aliens.
Yeah, I think you're right. It reminded me of there's a section in Minecraft called the Nether, and it looks like that. I was like, are we in the Nether?
Minecraft?
Are we in the Nether in Minecraft right now?
Am I talking to a 13-year-old right now?
Hey, Minecraft was big when I was in high school.
That was big when you really? It's been around that long?
Oh yeah, Minecraft for sure.
All
I
right.
played. I played Minecraft, survival mode and creative mode. I'm a fucking expert.
Oh,
Anyway,
shit.
so I don't know what else happened. I guess that's it. Really, right?
I mean,
I
I
thought
don't
that the
have too much
actors
more to
were good.
say.
They had good chemistry.
Look, yeah, I got no complaints about that. Like, there's no characters to be found. They're not creating anything, but like the three main actors are all good actors, especially Lupita. Lupita's the MVP of the movie. Like it's like
Of every movie she's ever been in, basically,
kind of.
she's unreal.
Although I thought about Joshua Jackson so much watching this movie.
Me too, because I feel like Joseph Quinn would be her type. Because I feel like
You're right, right?
Like she would like
kind
him.
of looks like Joshua Jackson.
like if she was single and they met on this set, they'd probably start dating. I thought
I know. I like. You think Joshua Jackson was like a little worried?
they might have been. Might have been.
Yeah.
What if
It's like a
like
younger, hotter version of me right now.
like in the kitchen at home, like a week after they shoot the movie, she's like, "Hey Joseph, I mean Joshua, oh my god,
Holy shit,
I
that would
can't
be-
believe I just did that."
I'm,
they have
I'm
similar
worried.
names.
I'm worried he'd hit her.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Does he have a weird past, Joshua? I feel like I've heard things about him. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, there's some ex-wife, like they had like a rough divorce or something. I want to say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it all works out with Lupita. One of
Me
the great
too.
names in Hollywood too, Lupita Nyong'o. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. A 2, a 3. I feel like it's a 3. We just weren't in the mood, so maybe it's a 2.
Yeah, like I'm giving it a 2, but like to everyone in the letterbox that like did give it a 3 or even like a 3.5 or whatever, like I completely see your points.
It's one of the. I'll give it a 2 too, but I feel like in a year or so, when I'm looking through Letterboxd, I'll be like, "Why is that a 2?" And I'll up it to a 3 probably. But for now, it's a 2. So in my third installments list, there's been 101, as I said, and this one is 63rd. So Deadpool was 66. This is going to be 63rd between Glass. Remember that movie Glass, M. Night Shyamalan's film?
Of course.
And Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh, I like that more than this.
I thought that you would. Not that guy is like a sexual predator in that movie.
Yeah, I know. What are you? That's a character flaw that I.
That's a
can get on board
character
with.
flaw. That's a good point. It's compelling. You're right.
Yeah.
There we go. And
He's an
LVP.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
LVP
I'm going
for-
Digimon because he's just there for the fans. He served no purpose besides like, oh, Digimon.
I mean, you're pretty much right about that. Let me see if I could come up with anybody.
And you
else,
didn't even
because-
know until halfway through.
Yeah, but maybe that's why it didn't bother me as much.
True.
Um,
You can't go any of the other actors, or the cat. I think it has to be
there's
Digimon.
so few actors in the movie, and they really are like the three main people are good.
Do you like the kids under the fountain? She runs into 2 little kids under a fountain at one point.
Oh no, I kind of didn't. Maybe they're my LVP.
No, they were cute.
No, whatever. I guess if we're gonna go with someone, you know what? Alex Wolf.
No, that's crazy. I think he's really good in this movie. Actually, it's like the best I've ever seen him. I think.
What? Hereditary's the best you've ever seen him.
No, I think he kind of overdoes it some in Hereditary.
What?
He's probably the worst performance in Hereditary.
Get out of here.
Who's worse than him in Hereditary?
I'll take him over
The lady that does the seance?
Stellar Skateboard.
He's not in that movie.
Who's the dad?
It's Miller's Crossing.
What?
The guy from Miller's Crossing. I don't know his name.
Oh, Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel
Right.
Byrne. Stellar
Right.
Skateboard.
Sorry. See, I didn't even remember who it was.
I think Byrne's good, but that's fine.
He is good. I think everyone's good in that. That's a 5-star movie.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, should we rank our movies from this year? We didn't do that. That'd be fun. Top 10 of 2024 so far. I've got a
We could
list.
do that if you want.
I'll do mine
barely
first.
Have a list. Yeah, you do yours first.
Number 10, I Saw the TV Glow. Number 9, Lisa Frankenstein. Number 8, Hitman. 7, The Bike Riders. He did turns out, great decision making that movie instead of Deadpool.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
6, The Fall Guy. 5, Trap. 4, The First Omen, covered on the podcast. 3, Inside Out 2, number 1 at the box office. Number 2, Dune Part 2. And number 1, Challengers still. I'm not sure anything will beat it. Something's got to.
Something could. Yeah, look, I haven't watched a lot this year. So if I'm not including Netflix documentaries and shit, here's my top 10. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
10, Furiosa managed to slip in there. 9, Lisa Frankenstein. 8, Drive Away Dolls. 7, Love Lies Bleeding. 6, Drugstore June. 5, Hitman. 4, The First Omen. 3, I Saw the TV Glow. 2, Civil War. And 1, Challengers.
Yeah, I gotta see Civil War. We match on The First Omen, number 4. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's our list. Is that it? What are we doing next week? Stay tuned for Comp Beast, guys. If you're listening to Comp Beast, we're recording that after this episode, so that'll be
all right.
Probably tomorrow.
In 2 weeks, we start upon Michael Bay's Bad Boys, and that will be very exciting. But all these dick jokes in Deadpool, you know, there's going to be a lot of dick jokes in that too. I was like, let's get a little vagina.
Oh, seriously, that's how you want to set this up?
I guess not. But you know, it's too testosterone up in here. I needed some ladies. So next week, we are covering the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2. That stars Rory Gilmore, Serena van der Woodsen, Ugly Betty, and Joan of Arcadia.
You nailed it. 4 for 4.
Thank you.
And
so
this
much.
is because of Tim, because Tim said weeks ago. I think he said he thought we did this. I think he was thinking about Mamma Mia, possibly, when he was.
I don't know, but listen, I've never seen either one of these movies, which is crazy. It seems so in my wheelhouse, right?
Yeah,
but never seen them. So I'm actually genuinely looking forward to watching these.
Yeah, I've never seen them either, and I've never seen the Bad Boys movies. So coming up, a bunch of stuff I've never seen before.
Yeah. A lot of first time watches for Logan. And speaking of first time watches for Logan, check out Hey, I'm Watching Here this week. He's watching tons of stuff.
It's true.
Patreon.com/the franchise. You want to read it? I think we had some comments.
Oh, I didn't think we had anything. Did we really?
Yeah, I think from a patron or two.
So from Mikey Graff, he says, I feel like everyone learns to be quiet very quickly in the this is about a Quiet Place.
Yeah.
In the very first movie, there are newspaper articles hanging up in Krasinski's basement. What?
Yeah, no. You see what he's saying is that, like, in this movie, it felt like within an hour of the aliens landing, everyone knew that it's sound. Like, you have to be quiet. Whereas in Krasinski's world, like they learned from newspaper articles. But now, my argument is that this movie took place in New York City, where everyone's smarter than everywhere else.
Yeah, of course you would think that. And you're right about that, because we learn immediately that the weakness is water. And in the first movie, he's like, "What is the weakness?" It's taking the whole movie to figure out what the weakness is. But here, Joseph Quinn sees one drown immediately, and he's like, "Oh, I guess that they weakness is water."
And they're announcing it like police helicopters are driving around, going like, "Everybody, stay quiet and try to get on these boats."
Right. Were those helicopters being taken down? I thought that they were. Like, all the commotion I was hearing sounded
I felt like they were up in the sky. Like that's why the aliens were climbing the skyscrapers and shit. They were trying to get at those helicopters, but
I think they were. I think they were.
You think they? I don't.
Getting them.
You think the dudes doing the announcements from those helicopters were like sacrificing themselves?
I didn't think they knew at the time, but I think it turned out that way.
I think they were able to fly high enough that they could get at them. These fuckers don't fly. They didn't know
the jumping that they did, though. They didn't know they could jump that far.
I think they figured it out pretty quick. They had a safe distance.
Yeah, from sacrificing a few guys in the way, they realized soon enough how it worked.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe the first couple got taken down.
They're like, "Oh, don't go that close to the building. They can jump." We didn't know. And then he says about Deadpool and Wolverine. He says, "I liked Deadpool and Wolverine. I laughed and I popped when Logan first pulls out the mask with the yellow. Oh, I did too. We didn't talk about his yellow suit. That was awesome. That was
It's
really
great
cool.
to see the yellow suit for sure.
And it looked cool.
And I
thought,
wasn't
too.
expecting him to have the little headpiece at the end.
Yeah, it looked very cool. And they mentioned like he's doing like a Batman voice. He like makes it deeper when the mask is on. I enjoyed that. But I really wish this was just a little more, just a more simple team up where Deadpool and Wolverine are stopping a bad guy. There are too many Marvel movies with time travel and multiverse hopping kind of over it. And I think there's an Avengers movie coming up where we're probably doing the same thing. Really? We're doing that again?
Now I disagree with that. I think that was the intention when we were still doing the Avengers Kang Dynasty movies. But now that they're recalibrating, I think they understand that the multiverse thing is annoying to people. And I think they got so excited by how well Spider-Man No Way Home did that they were like, let's make all our movies like that.
But here's my take on the new movie. My take on the new movie is what if Tony Stark decided to be Doctor Doom?
I disagree.
I thought this was
I
a
disagree.
multiverse movie.
I believe that Robert Downey Jr. is playing a completely different character. I don't think he's supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm interested to find out though. So I guess they got me back. Whatever. Thanks, Mikey Graff. I really appreciate that. And we have a fantasy football league open. I think we brought this up last week, maybe, but join that.
I forgot to sign up. Yeah.